Alright, this is Alex703 Rockstar. I am back. I think that I am going to continue that editing thing, although it will be minor editing like there was in my last video. I just have to improve how I edit it a little, but I think it worked out actually kind of well. I kind of liked it, so sorry about the hair here. But this is going to be the beginning of a new era here, because this video is going to be my first movie review. Why am I doing movie reviews? Because when I stopped doing wrestling reviews, because I just sort of lost interest in wrestling, I felt like, you know, there's something missing from the channel. There needs to be some diversity. I don't just like doing music reviews. I want to have some sort of other branch of my channel. Just like You're Wrong, I'm Right had for a while with that hard to watch reviews channel. That was really good. I don't know. Why'd you stop doing that? Anyway, so today I'm going to be reviewing House of a Thousand Corpses, directed by Rob Zombie. I'm reviewing this movie. Actually, the reason I watched this movie is because of a awesome channel called Mr. Brian Loves Movies, and this guy, who I'm assuming his name is Brian, does awesome movie reviews every month. He does his best movies and worst movies of the month that he's seen, and this guy just really likes movies, so go subscribe to him. I will put a link in the down bar. So yes, House of a Thousand Corpses, directed by Rob Zombie. This movie has Sid Haig, from what he's been in a lot of classic horror movies. I think he's been in even a Tarantino movie, in Jackie Brown. He's been, wait, I'm looking him up here. He's been in the movie Spider Baby, The Hell with Heroes, Shay. He's been in a lot of movies. He's even had a small role in Diamonds Are Forever with James Bond. And he even had a tiny cameo in a Star Trek episode, Return of the Archons, and that makes me happy. That makes me like him. This movie also has Bill Moseley from the second Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Rainn Wilson. If you watch The Office, this has Rainn Wilson, who plays Dwight in The Office. And it's basically about these four, 20-something-year-olds, where the two men are writing a book about the sideshow attractions that you could see when driving through the United States, and they're going with their girlfriends, and they stop to get gas at this place where Sid Haig plays a clown, and he takes them on a tour of the place where they see the myths and the legends of the town, and one of them is Dr. Satan, who used to perform like fucked up experiments on people, and then he got hanged, and the myth is that he was never found. His body disappeared. So they want to go see Dr. Satan because they're into this kind of stuff, and they get directions, and they drive down this path, and they pick up this hitchhiker who says her house is right next to where that he was hung, and they go there, and essentially this house is full of it's just this family of psychotic serial killers who are just trying to do the most disturbing things possible to these students, and that's where the movie goes from there, essentially. Now, is this a good movie or not? I am very torn on this movie, because in one sense, in almost every sense of the word, this is a really bad movie, because there's just stuff that makes no sense in this movie coming out of nowhere. Some of the effects... Sorry, my battery on my computer is dying. Let me plug it in. Some of the way things are done are just... You can tell that he's not really a professional director yet, Rob Zombie. And the way it's edited is this sort of weird MTV style, where in between the scenes they'll have sort of these home editing clips of just random stuff happening, actually. And the plot in itself is kind of stupid. If you think about it, it doesn't really make any sense. But at the same time, that's part of the fun of the movie, the fact that it doesn't have to make sense. And I think the point of this movie was actually to make sort of a bad horror movie. It's sort of an homage to all the B-horror movies that have come out over the years. Getting actors like Sid Haig and Bill Moseley to appear in it add to that. And in that sense, it's really good, and it's very gory. It's not sanitized horror. There's just a lot of random stuff in it. And the one thing I did like the most is it was a funny movie. Like, yes, it was a horror movie, but it had some really funny moments in it. Like, these family of serial killers are doing like this disturbing shit to these couples, but then in between, when they're talking to each other, they'll say stuff to each other that's genuinely funny. Like, the grandpa of the family, who doesn't actually kill anyone in this movie, he just seems like this cranky grandpa that always appears, and he's funny. He's always watching TV and eating like chicken. Well, you think he might be eating human body parts and stuff, and it's just funny. And they're deformed. One of the deformed children I find to be funny. So I thought this movie had a lot of comic relief, and that made it funny. And the fact that, and this is a spoiler, by the way, all my reviews will have spoilers in them, so don't watch them if you don't want spoilers. The fact that they turned Rainn Wilson into a fish, that they cut the half of his body off and put a fish's body on him, I mean, that's disturbing, but it's funny. I mean, like, it's so ridiculous that it's funny. And I know Brian, he said that this was one of the top 5 most disturbing movies that he's watched, and that's why I downloaded it. But I have to disagree with him, because this movie, it's just so over the top that it's not really disturbing. Yes, the one part where they cut, I forgot which one of the girlfriends it is. One of them, their father comes in and tries to help them, and he gets killed, and they cut his skin off and wear it as a bodysuit. Yeah, that's a little disturbing, but it's sort of funny too. I don't know why. I just get very entertained by these things. One thing that severely hurts this movie, though, is bad acting. The 2 girlfriends are some of the worst actresses I've ever seen, and even not Rainn Wilson, but his friend is a terrible actor too. Now the family, some of them are okay. Bill Moseley is very good, but the rest of them, the woman who plays Baby is very good in this too. But the mother, the grandpa's funny, but he's not really a good actor. And no one else really acts very well in this movie, except for Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding. He is actually fantastic. I wish he had a bigger role in this movie, because it's advertised as if he did. He's just great. He's so charismatic whenever you see him. Although you just kind of wonder why he's there, which is kind of the intrigue of his character. Like, is he actually just a clown that's just trying to make a living at a gas station that sells chicken also? Or is he actually secretly, like, part of, like, some serial killer or something? The way he plays it is sort of ambiguous. So he's fantastic. What else? Oh yeah, there's just, I don't know whether I like this or not, but there are just people that randomly get, like, random killings. I mean, the whole movie is random killings, but things that randomly happen that I don't know if I like this or not, because in one sense it doesn't make, on one hand it doesn't make any sense to the plot, but on the other hand, that's what I like about this movie too. It's the spontaneity of it. Like, in the first scene, these 2 guys try to rob Sid Haig's gas station, and he just kills them. Like, he shoots them in the head, and then the next scene you see of him is of him mopping up the blood as other people are walking in. And so you think he's evil from that, right? But then he turns out to be a good guy the rest of the movie, so it's just like, okay, what the fuck was that for? And then there's this one scene, which I find to be the absolute funniest scene in the whole movie, where, and I promise I'll wrap up this review soon. I haven't done a video this long in God knows how long. But they're lowering Rainn Wilson's friend, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me, and his girlfriend. They're in this casket, and they're being lowered into this random pit of water that this psycho family has. And they're sitting right above the water, and all of a sudden, these gremlins, literally these goblins or gremlins, just come out of nowhere, out of the water, and take the girlfriend. And it's just so random, and their suits that the actors are wearing are just so fake that I just burst out laughing there. I was laughing my ass off there. I thought that was hilarious. Oh, and it's also just funny that they have these random, like, half-human people in their basement and stuff. Whatever. I didn't think this movie was disturbing, but it was a bad movie in every sense of the word, but at the same time, it was sort of like it was meant to be a bad movie. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Subscribe to Mr. Brian Loves Movies, and watch House of a Thousand Corpses. Alright, bye.